Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm sorry if I had this episode recap a little late here and there, even though usually it's supposed to take me less than that, depending on the situation, if I have any time, But anyways, this episode right here, yeah. But also I'll give you guys some announcements and some links in the description below for you to know what's up. So if anything else, let's just get this started. Whew. Okay, we have to it that episode opens up with Homer having to maybe try to finish the job against Senku and Tsukasa, but Kohaku and the others manage to arrive on time and stopped her from doing so. Eventually, when it comes to the other parts of the episode, Tsukasa's empire seems to be built upon science right now, with a lot of crazy stuff. They even revived a manga artist thanks to Yuzuriha's puzzle making of the stones, and then as for Yo, he comes back and says, hey, mind if I come back, even though I messed up here and there. And we had to it that Yuzuriha asked Yo, okay, you can help me out with the puzzle pieces, even right now, Yo's like, holy crud, are you serious? Even Nikki's even our girl Nikki is yeah, she is not playing around. She says, every single one, we're gonna piece them all together, And we have to that Tsukasa ends up telling Ukyo about where the broken statue pieces are at, etc. So I don't know how long it took, but one thing was sure, it must have took him a while to find all the all the broken statue pieces, so Yuzuriha could piece back together, that kind of thing. But that aside, going back to with Senku's science here and there, we have to it that he talks about using certain chemicals, in order to try to do something. Like vinegar plus chlorine with a dash of sulfur gives us chloric acetate, and then get it to react with cyanide made from blood and iron, and once you get some cyan acetate, and then everyone's like, okay, what are you trying to get at here? And we have to it that Senku's trying to make alcohol to make you add some alcohol to make ethanol cyanate acetate, and then add some formaldehyde to that, and then you get super glue to seal certain wounds. And we have to it that Gen's like, oh, so you're gonna use this to actually help save Tsukasa, right? And Senku's like, I'm not a magician, man. I can't repair a freaking lost organ. I'm closing the wound to buy time. You can't repair an organ that's already been broken, that kind of thing. And we had to it. There was a scene with Hyoga having to ask Kohaku, why are you doing this, You're not gonna rule a kingdom if you don't have any strict rules here and there, etc. But Kohaku tells him I wouldn't say so, Senku is gonna be the guy who's going to is the strongest patient man in the world. No matter how long it takes, he will succeed in what he would do. As for Senku, he tells Tsukasa, we're gonna have to petrify you in order to save you, And we have to it that freaking Senku, along with the old strong man and Yuzuriha, already about to do some stinking surgery, I was laughing so hard right now because of what he's going to do. And Senku's like, hey, you don't need anesthetic, do you, Tsukasa? After all, you're the strongest primer in the world. He goes obviously I won't be needing any. Even Gen's puking out right now, going, and then Tsukasa's little sister Mirai is and it's her soul just literally just bounced off, etc. And we had to it that even though they performed the surgery, we had to it that Tsukasa gives out some bad news. He says, yo, I know what's going on. I know my body way more than anything else, This surgery that I have, it's meant to buy time, that kind of thing. And we have to it that he even says that I'm going to die from sepsis within a few days. And I decided to look up into this because I know certain bacteria and all that is no joke, and sepsis is a life-threatening complication of an infection, enters your bloodstream and all that, and etc. But this is something that that can't be solved easily. Since you're in the stone world, right? You can't make certain antibiotics and everything else easily, especially when you're just really like buying time, as Tsukasa says, you know. He's like he knows his time will soon be up. But Senku says there's another way how to save you though, so I'm asking you to wait, you know. We're going to exploit the regenerative effects of coming out of petrification to heal him. And then, although Gen was concerned about this, Senku tells him to calm down, you know. We're trying to find out how to find the petrification, etc., you know. We don't know how many years it'll take, but there's a 10 billion% chance that you will be dead by then. So before that happens, I'm going to kill you with my own hands and freeze him to death, you know. In the meantime, we'll find a way to petrify him. So pretty much put him in a cryogenic sleep for a very long time. We don't know how long this is going to take, but one thing for sure, Senku and the others, whoever's going to travel with him, is going to find a way how to petrify him, you know, and use the healing properties of petrification to save him. And we have to it that Senku, like, we have to it that, like, we have to it that, everyone, that, whatchamacallit, that Tsukasa says, hey, I don't mind dying by your hands. After all, I'm the one that killed you once, you know? And Senku's like, yeah, I guess you could call this some kind of revenge kind of thing, you know? Even so, it's supposed to be a joke and trying to comfort each other. It's still sad in its own way, depending on how you look at it. As for Senku, he's planning to build a refrigerator. Even like, Yo, Nikki, and Ukyo's like, are you really insane, man? Like, you guys built all of this, and then seeing how you're gonna try to build a refrigerator, that's pretty crazy here and there. And we have to it that Senku explains the process of using such thing, you know? He talks about chugga go, the two pumps, you know, push back air and back and forth through the part with the gold wire, and the heat transfers away, freezing you, you know? That kind of thing. And then even better, the regeneration effect will get rid of the germs too when it comes to petrification, you know? And then like even right now, like Tsukasa remembers Senku's words, you know, like if we can't sustain 7 billion people, then all 7 billion of us would look for a way to sustain all 7 billion people, you know? That's the way science does things. And then we see to it that, like, that everyone leaves Senku and Tsukasa alone because, you know, this is the time and moment because, you know, Tsukasa doesn't have much time, you know? Eventually, they talk about some things about going to space here and there and with having some small talk or chat, you know? And Tsukasa mentions about talking about Chrome and then the journalist, you know? And manga artist guy making something and then, you know, our old man having to, like, build some things, and then we have to it that Yuzuriha still piecing things together as we get watching everything in the distance, and we have to it that Tsukasa remembers, like, hey, do you remember those times when we hang out with each other back in the stone world, you know, etc. One place, location, and this was an emotional scene because the way how they did the music and all that, and then, you know, later on when talking about how they work together, and then we have to it, Senku talks about, like, Amanita Muscara, about mushroom, you know, especially Super Mario, you know, that kind of thing, about the reference to the video game. And, you know, when it came to Tsukasa saying a couple words like, you know, I had a lot of fun, you know, and closes his eyes. I really hope he's not dead by then, you know, but we have to it that Senku puts him in a cryogenic sleep while Mirai swears to, like, protect you and watch over you until the very end of time, you know, forever and ever and ever. And this was and like I said, the scene with Senku and Tsukasa was very emotional. Even though they were enemies, they somehow become friends again, you know? And of course there was a truce and trying to figure things out, how to do things right. Until Hyoga, I don't know what's going to happen to him, but it's going to be one hell of a thing to get by or get through or understand, you know? Whatever the case may be, it was an emotional episode, you know? I mean, just by looking at it, just by looking at the scene, just by looking at Tsukasa's empire and Senku's Science Kingdom working together to modify or gentrify everything, and then, you know, piecing back together, helping out the stone people, and then, let's see here, Senku and Tsukasa having their talk, and Senku doing his best he can to buy time for Tsukasa, you know? We don't know how long it's going to take, but he wants to use petrification on Tsukasa and then use the healing effects of that to save him, you know, at the same time. This was something that, like, I had, I wanted to have tears come out, but I couldn't even shed a tear, maybe because, like, you know, I cried too much, like, when it comes to certain media here and there, and maybe in real life that, I don't know. But one thing was sure, all I could really tell you without a lot of complicated detail, seeing how they can't save Tsukasa by repairing an organ, they decided to, like, put Tsukasa in a cryogenic sleep, cold sleep, until then, you know? And we have to it that Senku makes his announcement of what to do, you know, about the petrification that happened 3,700 years ago. Even Ukyo mentions, like, if we were attacked by that again, we would not survive, you know? And we had to it that Senku's like, we're going to figure out the nature of petrification first, you know? And that's going all to the other side of the planet. Even the Neanderthals made it to Eurasia, so we're going to have to cross the ocean. And, you know, there's a ship being made, and then we see everyone as pirates, and then we got to see Nikki, Yo, and then Ukyo on board, and then they all get ready to, like, try to find out the truth behind the petrification. Let's paint over fantasy with human science, you know? Then we get to see some kind of statue at the very end, you know? Having to hold his hands like this, or his right hand like this, like he's about to snap or something, or snap his fingers, you know? And then by that time, like, ends up saying to be continued later, you know? That's about it. So, yeah, that's the finale of, like, Dr. Stone, Stone Wars, or Dr. Stone Season 2 on episode 11, or should I say the overall total number of episodes, episode 35, you know? So, yeah, this was a really nice episode for Tsukasa's Empire and Senku's Science Kingdom to work together, you know? But, you know, the important part was trying to get Tsukasa to stay alive, but, you know, Tsukasa says it himself, I'll die of sepsis in a few days, you know? And Senku's like, okay, then we're going to put you in cryogenic sleep and we're going to ask you to wait till then. We're going to find a way to petrify you, use the healing properties of petrification, and by that time you'll be fine. Which is why Senku's going to put Tsukasa in a cryogenic sleep while Senku and the others find a way to find how petrification started in the first place, you know, and where it came from, etc. So I don't know how that's gonna work out, but one thing for sure, it's gonna be one hell of a journey. Don't know how how long it'll take, but hopefully they'll find a way to save Tsukasa in time, you know? Well, hopefully they'll find a way to save Tsukasa, man. I mean, I love the guy to death. I mean, he was a cool antagonist, and now he's become somewhat of a supporting character, but right now he's gonna have to stay on the sidelines for a little while longer. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but one thing for sure is, like, Senku and the others are going on a journey to, like, go save, like, to find the organs of the petrification, use that as a healing properties to petrify Tsukasa, and then release him, and, you know, they'll save him. So, my overall thoughts of the season 2, when it comes to season 2 or Stone Wars of Dr. Stone, you know, this season right here, I thought it was really slick, you know, when it comes to Stone Wars between Senku and Tsukasa's Empire. I mean, like, Senku and the others were trying to make a cell phone, and then they grabbed some allies with them to try to stop Tsukasa's madness whatsoever. But, you know, Tsukasa's not mad. He's making it reveals that he actually has a human side and that he made a very big, tough decision, you know. And, you know, saving Tsukasa's little sister, but Hyogo becomes an antagonist and causes a major fatal blow to Tsukasa's body, enough to, like, enough to, like, put him in critical condition where he may not even survive, since, like, he did damage to a certain functioning organ that even Senku himself cannot save. Even with, like, all the science knowledge he has, and he's a genius level intellect, he can't save Tsukasa's, like, broken organ. So that's why Senku decides to, like, find a way to, like, use petrification to use the healing properties to help him out, you know? So I do not know how it's gonna go out for the next season, but all I can really tell you right now, and you may not believe me, that there's a announcement of a season 3 is coming about. We don't really know how long it will take or when it will show up, but all I could really say is like season 3 is on the way. We're gonna have to wait. I don't know how long we have to wait, but it's gonna be one hell of a waiting line, that's for sure. It's gonna be one hell of a line that before we can even jump in the front seats and then like watch Dr. Stone ever again, you know. So yeah, I don't know how to describe season 2 overall. All I can really tell you is like Senku against Tsukasa's empire using some spying technology and everything else, and of course it all ends with like let's have a truce, you know. But you know, Hyoga, one of Tsukasa's own men, which is Hyoga, ends up being an enemy, ends up causing damage to Tsukasa, and Senku's on another journey to try to save Tsukasa no matter what, you know, that kind of thing. So overall, I'll give the season an 8 out of 10, you know, etc. I mean, like when it comes to like the Stone Wars or the fighting and spying scenes, you know, on Tsukasa's empire, I thought that was really nice. And you know, trying to drag some other people to join Senku's empire, you know, Ukyo, Nikki, I thought that was really nice. Ukyo, his superhuman hearing, man, how the hell do you beat that? Whatever. Anyways, like I said, the finale ends off with like Senku's journey to find the organs of petrification and use that of the healing properties in order to like help Tsukasa and repair the damaged organ, you know, whatever. So I don't know how that's gonna go out, but one thing for sure, I was told that, like it's really nice and slick, and no matter how long it takes, I'm pretty sure I'll wait as long as I have to for season 3. Maybe I might go read the manga or not. I'm just gonna have to wait. I'm just gonna have to figure out and wait out for that. So yeah. Like I said, the scene with Senku and Tsukasa, and I am repeating myself, was very emotional. You know, I mean, like sure they became some enemies when it came to different like how things should be run differently, but you know, eventually, you know, set a truce and then help each other out, take down a certain enemy that's after their life, and yeah. Oh man, I'm just tearing up right now because mentally, but anyways, sorry for bragging on for too long, and hopefully like we'll see season 3 of Dr. Stone in the future. Like I said, I'll put the links in the description below for you to take a look. So I don't know when it's gonna show up, but hopefully a release date will come very soon, though it won't be for a while then, even though it's green lit. So until then, people, I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out. Bye bye. Toot toot.